Winners and whiners, stable wagers as we continue to get you ready for the 2021 Breeders' Cup from Old Del Mar. And this time around, we're going to take a look at the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. A full field of 12 horses have been entered for the Grade 1 race from Del Mar, $2 million purse, and the best horses from the East and West Coast are in this race. Earlier this week, one of the major defections from the race was the winner of the Keeneland Breeders' Futurity. Rattle and Roll was declared out by Ken McPeak on Sunday, but we are still left with a full field of 12 in the starting gate, including the winner of the East Coast Grade 1 Prep in the Champaign. That was Jack Christopher, trained by Chad Brown. Meanwhile, on the outside draw, it was Bob Baffert trained Corniche, the winner of the American Pharoah Stakes, drawing the 12th post position. We've got a mixture of some speed and some closers in this race. And as we take a look at the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, I think post position did definitely play a role in how the pace could definitely play out in this race. And we've got some horses, maybe a chance to pick up a little bit of a price in that exacta and trifecta. The Juvenile fillies, which we already did a preview on, we ended up going with the favorite in that race. You can watch that preview here at Winners and Whiners and along with Stable Wagers. But let's take a look at this Juvenile as we continue along with our continuing coverage of Breeders' Cup 2021, a 12-horse field. And let's start off with American Sanctuary. 5 starts, 1 win. Now, the 1 win was at Prairie Meadows, so he's definitely going to have to raise up his level of play here. But he does have a nice win. That was by 8 lengths. In his most recent race, the Breeders' Futurity, American Sanctuary ran 4th. Now, he did work out over the track on Monday at Del Mar. Bob Baffert has a third horse in this race, actually, with Barassa. He also trains Pinehurst. We'll get to him in just a moment. But Barassa drew the 8th post position, and he picked up a win in his 3rd lifetime start. He's by Into Mischief, and he is definitely going to have to be probably rating in this race and try to establish a little off the position. Now, the favorite, Jack Christopher, drew the rail. He's trained by Chad Brown. He's went wire to wire in almost both his victories. In his first race, he went wire to wire officially, but in that second race, he chased a speed horse for the first half mile, took the lead going into the turn, and then even though he ran a slow final quarter, the Beyer speed figure and Brisnet speed figure came back really high for Jack Christopher. He is the morning line favorite, 9-5 out of the first post position. Meanwhile, the second morning line selection is Corniche. He's 5-2. He's trained by Bob Baffert. He is by Quality Road, a horse that was trained by Todd Pletcher a few years ago. He ran well at Florida. Also, actually, an interesting note about Quality Road. He was entered in the Breeders' Cup Classic, but he was scratched at the gate as he acted up when it was out west at Santa Anita. But I think this Juvenile is definitely going to have a chance. Let's take a look at some more of the price horses in this race. Going back to a winner for Dale Roman's Giant Game. This horse won by 3 lengths his last time out. That was after debuting at Churchill Downs, ran an even race, and he's got a router's pedigree. He's by Giant's Causeway out of a More Than Ready mare, and they paid $500,000 for this horse at the sale. They paid $135,000 for Jack Christopher. That's one of the things you got to keep in mind with Jack Christopher, that he does have a little bit more of a speedy pedigree. And then another horse I want to talk about is Pinehurst. Pinehurst debuted with a fast win, 86 on the Beyer scale, then picked up a Grade 1 victory in the Del Mar Futurity. He skipped on the American Pharoah, has worked out 5 times since that American Pharoah race, and he comes in here with a nice good string of workouts, and he's going to have a new jockey on him as Mike Smith is elected to ride Corniche in this race. Now, the pace of this race, I think, is going to be fast. You've got Jack Christopher, the favorite. I think with that 1 post position, he is going to be forced to send to the lead. That means Corniche can either sit just outside of him or kind of trap him in at that rail. With the post position draw, I do think this kind of sets up for an off-the-pace horse to maybe come up and pick up the pieces. And I think I'm going to recommend a couple of horses in this spot. A 3-horse exacta box with Giant Game, Corniche and Jasper the Great. Now, I haven't talked about Jasper the Great yet. Jasper the Great won his only start. That was in Japan. That was 10 lengths. And he won that race. He's a son of Arrogate, who ran a big race in the Breeders' Cup a few years ago. But I like the fact that he's been pointed for this race since that maiden victory. The Japan horses have come a long ways. I think he's got enough speed to stay close early, and I think the price is going to be right. So my top selection overall is Giant Game, and my contenders in the exacta are Corniche and Jasper the Great. That's a look at the Breeders' Cup Juvenile from Del Mar. It's going to be Friday, $2 million, a grade 1 race. We've already got a preview up of the Juvenile fillies. Make sure to watch that. We're going to preview all 14 races as we continue along with continuing coverage of the Breeders' Cup 2021.